Why do we have a lack of religiosity all of a sudden, or is this just something decades building?
I think this is, I mean, it's a Western phenomenon. I mean, Western phenomenons, I mean, we have it across the entire Western world. America was kind of the last place to get it. And I think that, but what happened was when the elites destroyed kind of the Christian fabric of our country slowly but surely by getting rid of prayer in school in the 60s and all the rest of it, they thought that you could replace, I mean, it was like the Bill Maher theory that if you just destroyed religion, you'd replace it with science and everyone would be so smart and intelligent. But what happens, and you see this today, is we have a social religion. We have the religion of anti-racism. People believe in the doctrine of anti-racism. It is a state-sanctioned religion at this point, and you can see the iconography, the washing of the feet. You have a penal code, which is that you are born with the original sin of being white, and you can never make amends to it. There is a penal code, but there's no ethic code. You can never receive eternal forgiveness or grace or salvation. It is just a system. It's just a penal code. And that dates back to especially among white liberals. In the book, and we cite the social science that sits there and shows this. But every racial group has an inward feelings towards people of their own racial groups. So blacks look at another black person and have a warm feeling towards them. Same with Asians, same with Hispanics, same with whites, except for white liberals. They are the only group in America to look at other white people and have negative feelings upon looking at them. And that is substantially, pushed into our immigration conversation. It's pushed into our racial conversations, and are pushed into our welfare conversations as well. I mean, we have millions of people in this country who are poor whites who will never receive nearly the attention or the interest in bringing them up that we should. We saw in the opioid crisis how it was kind of pushed under the rug for decades.
Okay, I'm not saying I disagree with you in any way, but what makes a white liberal that way? What makes them that way? I've always been fascinated by this. Is this a parenting, nature versus nurture thing? Is this public education? What is it? How do you make this person so we can stop making these people?
Yeah, I always say if the government produced puppy mills that produce as many brain damaged puppies as universities produce brain damaged humans, we would shut them down immediately. I have to think part of it has to do with our education system, because there is a difference between college and non-college. I mean, that is a big, big, big divide. College education. I think a problem is our education system is too Western focused. And when I say that to say you're raised believing the world was started in 1776. I mean, my generation was. I think younger kids now started in 1965 with the Civil Rights Act. They never know about the horrors of two things. They never know about the horrors how fragile civilization is. They don't learn about the fall of Rome, what happened immediately afterwards, how like women in Spain were cooking their children, and how with the French Revolution. And they never learn the horrors of humanity in the rest of the world, or like Native Americans with human sacrifice, or the horrors in Asia and Africa. So you're brought up to present that the world was this peaceful place. It was like the movie Pocahontas. Everyone was singing to the trees until the white man showed up. And so I think that it has a great responsibilities. When you don't know how horrible life has been, you grow up to believe two things. You believe, one, that Europeans created most of the problems in the world, and secondly, that prosperity that we've only known in this country, basically, since the Great Depression ended, prosperity is the de facto. You're always going to be prosperous, when in fact it is the work of many, many, many decades and generations of hard work, and it can be collapsed in a second.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.